What if I told you that in the time it takes to brew a cup of coffee, you could learn enough HTML to build your very first web page? Stick with me for the next 3 minutes and you'll see how. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It might sound like something from a sci-fi movie, but it's simply the blueprint for a web page. We're currently on HTML5, which is like upgrading from an old flip phone to a modern smartphone. Same purpose, but with far more features. You start with a file called index.html. Think of it as the front door to your house. When visitors arrive, it's the first thing they step through. A basic HTML page is divided into 2 main sections. The head, which is like your utility closet, stores hidden information such as the page title, style sheets, metadata, and scripts. The body is like your living room. It contains everything your visitors see. Inside the head and body, we place HTML elements, the building blocks of a site. This setup is called the boilerplate, and in most code editors, you can type an exclamation mark and press tab to auto-generate it. An HTML element usually has 3 parts: an opening tag, some content, and a closing tag. For example, a heading might look like this. See the opening and closing tags? That's all it takes to create one element. Tags plus content equals magic. There are 6 heading levels, from H1, the largest, to H6, the smallest. They don't just control size, they also tell search engines what's important on your page, which is essential for SEO. Tags can also have attributes, which are like sticky notes that give the browser extra instructions. A class, a label used to style multiple elements with CSS, ID, a unique label for one specific element, source, the source of an image or media file, href, the address a link should go to. Attributes don't change what a tag is, they just add extra details about how it should behave. Now, let's look at the elements you'll use the most. Paragraphs are like conversations in your living room, blocks of text containing your content. Links are like teleporters. Click one and you instantly jump to another page. They use the href attribute to know where to go. Images are like frame photos on your wall. They use the source attribute to find the file and the alt attribute to describe it for accessibility and SEO. Lists are simple in HTML. An unordered list is like a grocery list with bullet points. An ordered list is like a recipe with numbered steps. Each item is wrapped in an li tag. Buttons are like light switches. Click one and something happens. Sometimes that's submitting a form, sometimes it's triggering JavaScript, and sometimes it's just for style. Forms are like your website's mailbox. They collect information from visitors. You start with the form tag and give it an action attribute, which is the address where the data should be sent. Inside, you can have text, email, or password inputs, checkboxes and radio buttons, drop-down menus, and a submit button to send the data. Each input can have an ID, so it's uniquely identifiable. Labels use the for attribute to link to those IDs, making them easier to click. Before HTML5, we used div for almost everything, like putting all your furniture into one giant box. Now we have semantic HTML tags like header for the top section, main for the main content, footer for the bottom section, and section or article for grouped content. These tags make your code cleaner, more meaningful, and easier for search engines to understand. Start with the basic structure. Add elements for content, use attributes for extra details, organize everything with semantic tags. You now know the essentials, but the real learning happens when you start building your own projects, and I've got something to help with that. I've put together the HTML to Hero Notion Pack, which includes 10 real projects, a mobile link in bio template, a progress tracker, and a cheat sheet to speed things up. You'll find the link in the description. And since HTML is just the beginning, the next step is CSS. That's where your skeleton gets its style and personality. I've made a short tutorial on that too. Just click it and I'll see you there.